Hey guys! Okay, I know it's been a super long time. There's been a lot of unexpected changes in my life. I'm actually in Florida right now, studying for my MBA at Nova Southeastern University. It's an amazing school. It's a 2-year program. I'm here all by myself. Literally coming back from Cameroon, like went straight into school. I didn't even know what school I was gonna get into because I was signing up for schools like during the this past summer and things like that. So the acceptance letter just came in and I was like, all right, let's go. Family was like, let's go, let's get it. Definitely while I've been here, out of the busyness that I love of New York, but literally out of that focus and out of this whole kind of like gotta get mine type mindset in New York. I'm here in Florida. It's completely different, quiet, a lot of time to myself. And of course, a lot of time to reflect. I've been wanting to get back onto this channel for a while because there's just been so many things that I've learned along this way. Every time I learn something, I just I just want to share this with somebody, So, like stated before, like this is just kind of like my way of sharing. Definitely more so a process for myself to speak these thoughts out loud. Because I'm a writer, like I have a journal, I have a diary, like everything and whatnot. And I used to have a blog that I would just write what I'm saying on what I'm saying to you guys and just write it down. But with the path that God has set me on, I want to practice speaking my thoughts. A lot of time to think. And me and my best friend we do devotion together every now and then. One of our verses was, the verse was John 15, verse 12. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. How we like to do it is we break it down. So we first identified our own definitions of love. What is love? Love is accepting all things. Love is more than a feeling because feelings are conditional. Love means that you're still connected no matter what. Love is an extension of yourself. Love is humbling, honest, freeing. Love is letting go. Love does not have to be mutual. And love does not stroke egos. Then we said, what examples of love did Jesus show? We said things like prostitute at the well, being non-judgmental and honest, conversating at all times, not pointing the finger, not guilt dripping. Did I say dripping? Not guilt tripping somebody. Guilt dripping. Okay. Giving us the time to talk and him listening and giving us the grace to hear him as well. And in every situation of God's love, God acts the opposite or contrary to what we would, to how we would act as human beings. We just made up this really funny example that if Jesus was ever robbed one day, if somebody came up into Jesus's crib and robbed him, what do you think Jesus would do? I definitely think Jesus would open that man with welcome that man with open arms. Here, you can take my stuff, but come, sit down, eat dinner with me. Like, I feel like that's something that Jesus would do. I mean, not that Jesus is a pushover, but Jesus fights evil or evil things with love. So, with that said, that Jesus fights evil things with love, I reflected on myself and I asked her the same question. I was like, do you feel like there are people or situations in your life where you did not show love? I think that sometimes my problem, or people like me who, are super kind and super loving and super like happy and whatnot, we believe that, or let me just say I believe that I deserve that kind of attitude back towards me. Like, I believe everybody should be nice to me because I'm a nice person. I don't believe that I deserve anything that's not nice. And I get offended sometimes, you know, when I get that response. And I feel like, especially in the midst of adulting, like, and being exposed to like maybe people who aren't like you and people who really do act the opposite, just because, you know, that's how they were taught. So you really have to check yourself sometimes. As nice as you are, as kind as you are, I had to check myself, at least as nice as I am to everybody and kind and whatnot. Am I being nice and am I being kind because I want to, or because I'm getting something from it? Like, I'm expecting your niceness and kindness back. Is that why I'm also being kind and nice? It made me evaluate, how am I giving love? Am I truly giving love out of my own heart, or am I giving love to be rewarded in some way, shape, or form? Am I being kind for just kindness' sake because it looks good, you know? Or am I actually being kind because it is a necessity, it is a command? She answered, it made me evaluate myself, and my two relationships that I know that I've definitely not been distributing love is one with my father and one with my ex. These were definitely, like literally, when people ask like, how, you know, like, or when you even wonder before you actually hear, like, how do you hear God? How does God conversate with me? And all these things. Literally, when we were talking about it and I asked this question, and in the midst of me talking, it was just something that like was a subconscious voice, like a little voice that was like, one, your dad, one, your ex. It's like you, like not even to sound crazy, but you do hear it. Like, you hear it. So I heard God say that to me, and I was like, okay. And I started to tell my friend, I was like, ooh, and she was like, why? What's wrong? And then I was like, God is telling me to talk to my dad, and God is telling me to talk to my ex. And I was like, and she was like, well, you better go ahead and do it. And I was like, all right. So we ended our our devotion there, and the first thing that I did, because that one was not the father one was a bigger one. So with the ex, God told me to just send him a message. So, you know, with your ex, especially if it's been a fallout that's like not, like there was no, what do they call that thing? There was no, what do they call that? Closure. I think that's what it's called. Closure. There was no, yes, there was no closure. If there's no closure within the relationship, you know, you feel like there's a lot of things that are like not handled well or didn't end well. And again, me, like, I'm not a person to hold grudges. In fact, it eats me up to hold grudges. And I was holding one for so long, like, why didn't you do this? And what happened to this? And why couldn't we be this? And blah, 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 and all this stuff. Because none of those questions were answered. And to be honest, none of those questions may ever be answered. And to be honest, they don't even matter at this point, you know? But that was how I was feeling. And you know, all of that bottled up, just the guilt, the anger, the I wish this and I wish that, you know, the devil definitely played around with that. Like, literally, my emotions with that were like just unwavering. I was mad at myself because I was like, okay, why can't I get over this? Like, seriously, it's been more than a year. Like, something needs to change. Seriously, I can't keep thinking about this constantly and playing it in my head constantly all the time. And the feelings were just anger. The feelings were sadness, things that are not of God. And it came to the point where I would almost go to those places for comfortability. Like, if it makes sense, constantly taunting myself with these memories and these emotions in order to feel connected to something, because I am in this space by myself, right? This season that I am right now is really a season of just me and thinking about what it is that I want and what it is that I'm doing and my purpose and things like that. And of course, that kind of season can become very lonely. So reminding myself of that relationship and the feelings within that relationship connected me to something comfortable, something that I knew, but at the same time, something that wasn't real. So I was as I was doing it though, maybe knowing and maybe not knowing that I was doing it, I would pray to God and I'd be like, God, like, why am I still thinking about this? Knowing dang well that I would be the one causing it to happen. Like, I would go to sleep being like, all right, let's turn on this memory, snuggle up in bed, wake up crying and whatnot. Like, the thought that love would dead that pain to me was crazy. In this whole, like, with your ex thing, it's like a game of pettiness. It's like, you don't want to be after the breakup, you don't want to be the first one to message the person or whatever. You don't want to be the first person to admit anything, blah, blah, blah. Your pride gets in the way, like, completely, And as I was thinking, I'm like, all of these things are not of God. But you know what is of God? Love is of God. So the thought that you could fight your pride, your sadness, your pain, your anger with love was crazy to me. And I would always be like, no, I don't want to be the first one to say anything, because then he might think, then I look stupid, like I look like the fool and whatnot. Okay, so what? You look like the fool to who? That's the thing. You look like a fool to who? You look like a fool to him? Who cares? You look like a fool to you? Why? Why would you think that? Why is it that showing love to someone makes you look like a fool? Is it because society has taught us that showing love is weak? Is it because when we show love and love is not returned back to us, we feel like we did something wrong, or we feel like we're taking advantage of or something? Again, like we stated before, love sometimes may not be mutual. You could love a stranger. Stranger don't know nothing about you. Stranger don't even care about you. But you could show love to that person. Love does not have to be mutual. In fact, the more that you give love, the more that you are strengthened by it. Because when we ponder on, okay, the reasons why we don't receive this love back, that's almost like you're saying that, like, then your love pool has an ending point. Like, I have to be careful who I share my love with because I don't have that much. No, that's the complete opposite. In fact, your love is endless. Therefore, your sharing of your love is endless because it doesn't come from you. It comes from God. It streams from God into you. Therefore, it's infinite. Therefore, your love is infinite. It will just keep going. It will just keep going. Therefore, like, why are we so afraid to share it? So, fighting with my hesitations, I'm like, I don't want to, what if this and what if that? I just sent him a message. I sent him a message, and I was just like, hey, I hope you're well, blah, 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 love, yeah. And it wasn't really like so much deep into a conversation. It was just like, the catch up, how you doing, what's up, blah, 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 end of that. And what's so funny? This whole week, and mind you, like, this is a week compared to months of replaying pain. Ever since I did that, this whole week, I've been at peace. Like, I'm not saying I don't think about the person. That's not what it is. But showing that love literally killed that anger that I had. I'm so much at peace with the relationship. I feel like that was my own closure. I feel like I can move on. I feel like I can start to believe that there's, that there is someone else there for me, and that there's so much love that I can continue to give, that my love didn't end there. That, in fact, it started there. That was the first relationship, outside from my family, of course, where I could measure the amount of love that I had. And now this example measures what more love I can give. And more examples will show that. And I think it's just beautiful because it's like, be obedient when God speaks to you. Like, it was the weirdest thing sending him a message and just making sure that he knows that I love him. That's to your ex? Like, bruh, like, what? That's weird. And I was like, God, that's weird. Like, but it's not for him. It's not for your ex. It's not for the other person. It's for you. It's for your healing. It's for your process. Now I understand that, wow, girl. Yes, you do love. Yes, you are kind. But when you're hurt, you use not giving love as a form of punishment. But it does not punish the other person. It punishes you even more, because you are such a loving person and you want to just constantly give love. And now you're doing something that's out of your natural being. You are a human being made and created by God. God is love. Your nature is to love. So by not loving, you're stopping the thing that you do naturally as a human being, the meaning of you, the purpose of you as a human being. So how does that work? That doesn't work. Of course it's killing you. Of course it's killing you. So when I was able to just show that little thing of love, I had a week's worth of peace that I haven't had in three months. So, moral of the story. Yes, you can love your ex. Yes, you can love people who hurt you. Yes, you can love people who have done you wrong. Yes, you can love the ones who have given you so much pain in your life. And you know why? Because love is who you are. And loving them does not hurt you. Loving them not only gives them strength, because then they are able to see that, wow, whether they realize whatever it is that they've done to you or not, that they receive love. Just like God gave you love when you felt like you didn't deserve it. You're doing the same for someone else. It's a healing to them, and most importantly, it's a healing to you. Because when you practice that, you rejuvenate. You're exercising your humanness. You're exercising who you are in God. My command is this: love as I have loved you. Love as Jesus has loved you. When you think about how Jesus has loved you, then you think about how you could love other people the same way. It's hard. And it definitely is a test of our pride, of our patience, of our humility. But when you do it, the reward for that is peace. And we all need a little bit more peace every day in our lives. Definitely, especially with all that's going on. But too much peace can never be a bad thing. Most importantly, your love grows, your heart grows bigger and bigger every day. And the best part is you've passed the test. You've passed the test that God has given you. You've been obedient to his word, and you've taken the next baby step. All right. Well, that was my little testimony today. It's amazing. I didn't want to share it with you guys the time when it actually happened. I wanted to share it with you guys a little bit afterwards to just also share how like it just worked. I'm telling you guys, like literally every night it was a problem. Every night. Anger, sleep, like I could barely sleep. Just mad every time, whatnot. But I go to sleep like a baby now. And I don't regret what God has done. And I don't question anymore what he has done in that specific area of my life. There's peace in that specific there's peace in that specific area of my life because I showed love. I gave love. So, question to you guys. Think if there's someone in your life who maybe you haven't been showing love to, been showing care the same way Jesus has been showing love and care towards you. And combat that evil with love. And just see what healing that brings to you and what healing that brings to the other person. Because the more that you love in situations like that, the more that you fight the spirits of evil with love, someone else gets to see Jesus' love through you. Someone else gets to see that. Someone else needs to see that. So, all right, I'm out. I gotta get back to studying. Love you guys. Definitely comment if you feel what I'm feeling. Share your experiences, whatnot. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.